Hello, I'm Ivan Navi, the captain of the RMS Titanic, and this is Ship Happens, the show where I discuss and dissect fictional characters' relationship. Because it's the internet, what else am I supposed to do? Today I'm going to look at another ship from Star vs. the Forces of Evil. And not just because in a couple of weeks the series is coming back from hiatus. No, seriously. For this discussion, I'm going to try to keep my own personal feelings out of it and just discuss what's been presented by the show, the series, books, and whatever is canon within the series. I hope you guys can keep a level head. I know ships can get a little heated on the internet, so let's just all try to be calm and rational. Shipping is supposed to be fun. We don't need to start flame wars. Or do, I honestly can't stop you. Today's ship is going to be TOMCO, the relationship between Marco Diaz and Tom Luciter. Let's talk about the elephant in the room here. Yes, both characters are male, and there is no solid evidence to suggest that they're interested in guys. But here's two things. They're both young, and sexuality is a spectrum. I myself didn't realize I was asexual until I was in college, so one could argue that given time they could discover new things about themselves. And two, if I don't accept this possibility, at least for speculation, there's nothing for me to talk about with this ship, so at the very least, let's leave an open mind and say it's possible, so we can at least discuss it. So let's move on. Characters. Marco Diaz. I went over him in the last video, so if you want a more in-depth description about the character, go back and watch it. But for here, let me just go over some highlights. He's very smart. He's safety conscious. He loves the band Love Sentence. His best friend is the magical princess from another dimension, Star Butterfly. He's from Earth, and being pretty much normal human, he kind of serves as a surrogate for the audience, and kind of serves as the overall straight man for the show, since everything kind of seems weird or supernatural to him. Also, he's kind of a dork, despite the fact that he's able to fight monsters. Tom Luciter is the demon prince of the underworld. He's got temper issues, but he's going to a guy helping him deal with those, so kudos. Now, if only my editor would follow in suit. And pause for whatever cryptic or joke he's gonna edit in 1, 2, 3. Anywho, Tom is the ex-boyfriend of One Star Butterfly. He's also a fan of the band Love Sentence. He likes ping pong, and admittedly, he's a sharp-dressed fellow. Enough about the characters, let's go into their history. History in this case is actually pretty easy to follow since we've seen them meet in show. When they meet, it's because Tom has come over to the school to invite Star out to the Blood Moon Ball. Marco tried to stop this whole thing, not trusting Tom, especially after finding out he was her ex.
Star, never go with a predator to a second location.
That's actually good advice. Star is far more trusting of Tom than Marco is, willing to give him another chance. It turns out Marco was right. Found out that Tom had actually planned this whole thing. That the Blood Moon Ball would select 2 dancers and bind their souls together under its red light. I had intended that to be him and Star, but Marco kind of messed up those plans. Remember when I said Tom had anger issues? Oh boy, do they come out here.
That dance was meant for me!
Walk it out.
No, Brian!
Yeah, dude has a temper issue. Next time these two meet, Tom has sent in a spy to see if Star and Marco have started dating. He also had the counselor kind of nudge Star, giving him a few hints, suggesting that maybe she should think of a prince to date and possibly marry as the future king of Muni. Yeah, I wonder who he had in mind. Marco found out. So, yay for paranoia? He's kind of right with not trusting this guy. Anywho, it turns out Tom was ready to torture Marco when he found out that Marco had found out. He had a whole torture wheel and everything. Ops for being old school, but torture wheel. Man, some fanfic writer is gonna run with that and write their own 50 Shades of Grey. Anyway, Marco is able to convince Tom to let him go because he challenges him. If Marco wins the challenge, he's free to go. Slaughters him. Like, yeah, the game's ping pong. He just slaughters him. I'm gonna let Tom explain this one.
Like, I slaughtered him. I mean, beating him was so easy.
Okay, she gets it.
Not over exaggerating or anything. Not at all. But the thing to note is while Marco and Tom are playing ping pong, they actually start talking. It's kind of hinted at that Tom is actually very lonely. Yeah, that justifies manipulating people and potential torture. Motive. Still torture. Let's talk about what Tom reveals. He gets annoyed by some of Star's antics. That while they're playing games, she will randomly change the rules because that's what she wants to do. She wants to change the rules. Just whatever she wants. And then Marco points out that's not her breaking rules, that's just who Star is. She does what she wants. And that's why Tom will never win. He will never be able to make Star date him unless she wants to date him. Some character growth here as Tom accepts that. Marco go meet up with Star. Tom confesses that he was manipulating her and apologizes for her. Future appearance, Tom shows up to invite Marco to go see a movie. Future appearance has Tom show up and invite Marco to see a movie. Marco is hesitant to go, but when he finds out it's a movie he really wants to see and can't get tickets to, he accepts. Marco's a fanboy, what can I say? While they go in Tom's carriage, they have a fun time. They play games, they sing their love sentence favorites, and they ride a tiger. Yeah, I'm not making this stuff up. Marco realizes that they're going to be late for the movie and tries to get out of the carriage, but Tom stops them. It eventually frustrates Marco and he kicks his way out, and we find out why Tom invited him. Tom was trying to win an anger management badge to prove that he had his anger management under control by getting himself alone with the person he hates the most, Marco. Let's just say Marco was less than thrilled. Tom does make it up to him by resurrecting the dead actor from his favorite movies and watch the zombie actor beat up a bunch of security guards. Yeah, things got a little weird. Why? I think it does feel a lot like the shippers just want to ship two guys together. Maybe there's a bit of touch of foyer. For those of you that don't know, that is when you ship two enemies together. Sort of Batman Catwoman thing, where there's an underlying attraction as they're fighting against each other. Here I don't get that. Tom and Marco aren't really rivals, they just don't like each other. Yes, they do have a few things against one another on principle, but overall they kind of leveled out. They kind of become frenemies. They don't really hang out and do everything together like normal friends, but they will occasionally just play video games or something just to pass some time. They don't hate each other, but they don't really like each other either. If there's any moment that kind of seems like a ship tease, like they're hinting at something might be happening, is when these two sing a song to each other. Just
Oh, girl, you know I'd never mean to hurt ya. And when you're sad, you know I'd never desert ya. Ooh, you were my angel, my beautiful dove. We spiraled high on a gust of love, and I knew right from the start
Nothing could tear us apart. Till the day you broke my heart, and now it's too little too late.
That does seem a bit romantic undertony. My argument for why that's not really romantic is kind of obvious. That's a breakup song. They're singing a breakup song to each other. Though the episode ends with them kind of reconciling, the same. They're enjoying a moment together watching a zombie beat up some guys. To each other are literally, I hate you. I hate you too. Yeah, they're not super buds, but they're not bitter enemies. It's just like, let's hang out every once in a while when I'm bored. Some people will say that that is justification for shipping them together. That somewhere deep down under that bitterness, there's something akin to romantic feelings beneath the surface. Being that they still have some fun with each other despite being not really friends. Some people might even justify that deep down, there might be some underlying romantic emotions between these two. Relationship. Currently, I would call them frenemies. Not really enemies, not really friends, frenemies. I can make that any clearer. What is going for them pro-romantic relationship-wise? They do have similar interests. They both love the band Love Sentence. They apparently both like ping pong and apparently have gotten into Mackie Hand films. The karate guy later turned zombie because of Tom's undead magic. This is a weird show, people. This is a weird show. They do seem fairly quick to forgive one another about torture, manipulating one's friends, general ruining each other's plans. So, forgiveness is kind of a point towards that. Okay, things against this relationship. One, Marco is actually dating Jackie. Tom might be getting over his crush on Star, maybe? Otherwise, they've shown no real romantic interest in each other, but have shown romantic interest in other people. Issue with this ship is the fact that Tom manipulates people and controls them. Tom has shown on multiple instances that he manipulates people, using their own emotions, their own wants and desires against them to get them to do what he wants. That is not healthy behavior for any sort of relationship. And Tom does have big anger issues. He is working on them, but overall, it doesn't seem that Tom is ready to be in any sort of real romantic relationship. He is working on it, but I think at the moment he needs a friend, if not a romantic partner. I think he needs to deal with these issues before he can be ready for a real relationship. Final thoughts. Honestly, I get no romantic inclinations between these two. They are barely friends. When Marco went to Tom to help him remove a curse that Tom himself placed on Marco, just kind of laughed at it and like, yeah, you're stuck with it, dude. I'm not going to be able to remove it. You just have to let it run its course. I kind of just see them as those friends that give each other a hard time. Honestly, if we were to see them interact more, my opinion might change. But so far, this does not seem like a viable ship. If I had to rate this ship, I would rate it a snowball's chance in Tom's home. Okay, so that's it for this episode. Agree, disagree, have your own thoughts and ideas? Feel free to comment below. Also, please like and subscribe and share the links. It really does help out the channel. Also, comment about which ships you would like me to talk about next. Should I do another Star versus ship, or should I take a little break and probe another series for another ship? I do have a few ideas of a few others, but what do you guys think? If you have suggestions, just leave them below. So until next time, thank you for watching and see you later.